It said 2 fields, didn't it? Or am I going completely mental? Oh man. There's 2 more fields over here. So there's 4 fields. Was it 2 fields and 2 orchards? Oh, do you know what I think it was? Okay. Well, this challenge that wasn't challenging has just become way more challenging. I obviously wasn't paying enough attention when I read the... look how bouncy that is. Yeah, I obviously wasn't paying enough attention when I read the brief for this one. Well, hello there. Welcome back to Sim UK. Welcome back to Pure Farming 2018. Just so you know, in case you're new to the channel or just come here after watching my very first review on Pure Farming 2018, I am playing all of the farming challenges at the moment to get a good feel for this game so that I can make an in-depth review. So today's mission or challenge is a huge drought. The United States is famous for its vast agricultural areas, but also for diverse and unpredictable weather conditions. As long as the weather is good, everyone can be happy, watching the plants grow quickly. However, a change in the weather could lead to the loss of an entire crop in a matter of minutes. That's not quite what it said, but At present, the area in which your farm is located is suffering from a drought. It is necessary to water the orchards and fields to protect the plants. Your farm's future is entirely up to you. Hang on. A change in the weather could lead to the loss of entire crops in a matter of minutes. Surely that's not realistic. Is it? So within 60 minutes, you could lose an entire crop. That doesn't seem realistic. Anyway, maybe it is. Water 60% of each of the 2 fields. Fill 2 tanks with 4,000 litres of water. That's the minimum requirement. Optionally, water 95% of the 2 fields and fill 2 tanks with 8,000 litres of water. Okay. So the vehicles we will have are the Landini 5115H tractor and the Sipma WA600 Delphin water system. Okay, good. Gravy, gravy. Alrighty, here we go. Now, let's get the old drone out. And let's go figure out where these flipping fields are. Over this way somewhere. I will say this in the in-depth review. I love this drone, but I do hate the fact that you can't see where you're going. Oh wow, these are like really far apart. What's this one here then? That doesn't look like an orchard. That doesn't look like an orchard. Okay, just those 2 fields then. Right you are. Where's my tractor? Oh, we've got another new tractor. That's cool. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed to find that when I reinstalled this game, I lost the Germany map and so on and so forth. But as it's not a game that I'm particularly excited... Oh, crikey. I can't do controller braking. I really can't. Because it's not a game that I'm massively excited about. I'm not that bothered. I'm not that bothered. Where the hell do I get water from? I can't remember. Oh, I've done it once before in the tutorial, but that's fertilizer. Perhaps we need to find the water. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Water tanks. Where's water tank number 1? All the way over there. Where's water tank number 2? That's even further away. Number 3? Okay, we're getting further and further away, aren't we? Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Okay, number 5. Is number 5 near me or not? Not really, is it? So it looks like we're going to be going to number 1 then. Okay. Groovy. Where is number 1? All the way over the back there. You can see that bouncing around there, can you? There's a bit of physics, but I wouldn't say it was spot on. I like the suspension. The suspension's quite impressive. Bearing in mind FS17 had none of this, it's definitely an improvement over FS17. But then I must have said a good handful of times now, I think this is better than the vanilla FS17. It's just, all it's lacking is simulation elements. Or rather, its only problem for me... Oh, I knew I was going to do that as well. The only problem for me is that it has too many arcade elements to it. Too arcadey. Far too arcadey for my liking. Right, so we're going to fill this right up to the top, because that's part of the challenge, apparently. That's filled up. Perfect. Let's go find these fields. So yeah, it's a good game. If you're looking for a chilled out, not very realistic, or not too realistic, not heavily hardcore realistic game, then yeah, this is probably spot on for you. If you're on console, it's definitely a good game. Is it that field there, the one that's slightly on a tilt? Oh no, it's this one here. It's the same 2 fields again. Seriously? Alright then. Now how far does this spray? That's the question. Or just a little bit out the back. So not much at all. Okay, that's fine, that's not a problem. Just got to figure out when the best time to turn is. Obviously, because we're a lot longer than when we were harvesting and when we were whatever I was doing in the last one. What was I doing in the last one? Cultivate? Oh, I was laying potatoes, wasn't I? Yeah, I turned a bit late there on that one. Turned a little bit too late. So literally, just as I get to the end, seems like the right turn to turn. Yeah. Cool. So yes, because we're a bit longer, I have to turn a bit later rather than a bit earlier. So this seems like really easy. 20 minutes to do this. That doesn't even seem like a challenge almost. Just 2 fields. Interesting, interesting. Most interesting. I've also noticed that when you turn the wheel, it dramatically drops your speed. Now, there is some degree of truth in that. When you turn a wheel, obviously you've got a lot of force and friction going in the opposite direction to the way than forwards, other than forwards, so it will slow you down a bit. But when you're at slow speeds and maintaining 13 kilometers an hour, turning shouldn't have that much of a dramatic effect. I think it's too pronounced. But again, that's me coming at this from a simulation perspective. If you come at it from an arcade perspective, who gives a toss? You know, if it's just a chill out game and you're playing for the fun of it, then who cares whether that happens or not? That's the reality. And yeah, that's basically it, isn't it? I can't see that this is all we need to do. This is just looking way too easy. I think I'm going to leave these corners because it's proving to be too difficult to get in there and sort out those little gaps. And I'll just drive to the edges later. There's a few small patches we've missed there, but you know. We're in a rush. There's a drought on. And it seems weird that in the description for this particular challenge, it was saying about how you can lose crops in, you know, minutes and whatnot. Yet there are no crops on this field. So I don't think that quite makes sense, does it? Does it fully tally? But again, you know, if it's an arcade game, who cares? Just a bit of fun. And I think that may be part of the difference between a simulation enthusiast and someone who's playing a game, is that someone who's playing a game is there to have fun, whereas a simulation enthusiast is there for a challenge, and it's the challenge that is fun. And the challenge has to be realistic. Is that 95%? Fantastic. Let's go and fill this up again. Figure out where I filled it up in the first place. Where did I fill it up? I think it was down here. I hope it was, otherwise I'm doing a slightly... oh, there it is, there it is. I say, I've been doing the scenic route, like in the last mission, where I drove around for 10 minutes trying to find the potatoes. Okay. Boop, boop. Nope, that one. Transfer. Now, are we going to hit a target here? Now, that doesn't look like we've achieved... I can't remember what the directive was now. Was it 12,000 litres? Maybe I'll have to go fill it up a third time. Oh, hang on, hang on. Now I'm a bit confused. There's two fields, right? Two fields, and oh, I've got to discuss these birds. Okay, when you look at them individually, they move like birds, but in reality, they don't fly like birds, do they? There needs to be a slightly more dynamic, bit more realistic movement to them there. That just looks silly. That just looks like a PNG image being dragged across the sky. It doesn't look realistic at all. Where is this field? Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. Okay. %, people. 5%. So I seem to be, I think, doing a better job this time. I've got my timing right. I think that's the difference. Although I did leave a big gap at the front here that I didn't do properly. have caused myself a minor issue by doing that. But yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's all good in the hood. I ought to get some tunes in this hood. I ought to get some music in for the next episode, I think. Because all I talk about, all I have talked about is my review, the amount of abuse that I received off the back of that review, and my reasons for making that review. But I think I've covered that now. Hopefully everybody understands my position, understands why the review that I gave was necessary, and you know, we're all friends again now. Wow, this feels really floaty and boaty. Weird. It feels very I can't some people, I've read a review, I read everybody's reviews really, just in case I've missed something or somebody has a point of view that I haven't considered and I actually agree with. Oh, incidentally, guys, there's a great little YouTube channel called Gaming Enthusiast, I think it is, or PC Enthusiast, something like that. Oh, balls! I'll find out what the thing is, and I'll punch it in. Now, they've given a review of this game from an arcade player's perspective, from somebody who isn't looking for a full-on simulation experience, and it's a very good review. It's very nicely done, it's very professional, and I think if you are if you are an arcade fan and you're interested in this game and you want to have a perspective from an arcade player, then definitely go check that out, because it's a good review. And yeah, we had an in-depth and somewhat heated discussion about whose review was right, and the conclusion that we came to was that I'm a simulating enthusiast, so I'm looking at it from that perspective and it fails to meet my expectations, where he's looking at it from a gamer's perspective, and from that perspective it's a good game and he likes it, and fair play to him, and he's done a good review. So I'll put a link in the description below, and yeah, go check him out. Go check him out. That's my advice. He's got about 400-500 subs, something like that. So yeah, deserves more, I think. But go say hi. Go say hi from Sim UK. What's that? Water the fields, minimum requirements met. Oh, I've gone all wonky, look. Oh, balls. This is really floaty, this tractor. This is terrible. Even from a game perspective, this is horrible. I don't know what's wrong with this tractor. Maybe it's trying to simulate the fact that the trailer on the back is really heavy, but my God. Like driving on blancmange. We've run out of water. Right, more water required. Where did we get water from? Over here somewhere, wasn't it? That's fine. So we've still got 13 minutes left on this mission. This is the easiest mission ever. I shouldn't even call this a challenge, this one. This one's way too easy. If they cut it down to 10 minutes, then that would be a challenge. Because I assume that's what 24 hours is. It's 24 minutes. So maybe not 10 minutes then, 14 minutes. Because that would give me 3.5 minutes now to go and get more water and then finish off grabbing the... finishing off that field. But that would be a challenge, but this... unless there's something else I need to do afterwards, this is not a challenge. And away we go, back to the field to put on sea for water. I don't know. I definitely need to get some tunes in here. I've got nothing to talk about now, except for this flipping awful tractor. Look at that. Outside, that looks normal. Ish. I think it's trying to simulate the fact that we've got a heavy trailer on the back. But it's just terrible. It just feels like I'm driving a big blancmange tractor. I like that word, blancmange. Good word. See, look, it slows me down. That's another thing I hate about this game, right? As soon as I turn this machine on, it will slow my tractor down to the speed it wants me to go at. And I hate that. That's why it's not a simulation. Because that is ridiculous. There is no, that I know of, machinery in the world that dictates to the tractor what speed it can go. Certainly there are recommendations in the manual, and certainly farmers will listen to, respect and adhere to those recommendations, unless of course they test it, which they will do because they're farmers and they're engineers, and that's what engineers do, and find that actually they can squeeze another 2-3 miles an hour out of it quite safely without concern for damage. That's simulation, that's realistic. But forcing me to go at 12 kilometers an hour because I'm using the device, no, that is not a simulation. That is arcade. That is what you would expect to see on a beginner's level for children. When you let your children play and they don't understand, they can't comprehend the fact that you need to slow down because you've got a heavy trailer on the back and it's trying to work, and if you go too fast you're either going to break it or it's not going to be effective. They don't understand that, so you put them on beginner mode and it slows them down without them having to do anything different, and they think they're playing the game and they're having fun and it's all good, but it's for children. That's really what it's for. And I don't want, I play enough children's games with my children already. I don't want to play children's games when I'm playing a game. I want to play grown-up, difficult, challenging games where I have to know the weight displacement of the water tank in order to adjust my speed accordingly so that I am driving at the right speed and getting the best yield from my field. That's what I want. That's what I want in a game, not this. I mean, I could almost close my eyes, hold right steer on and just do this without even looking. That's the state of play with this game. Getting a bit dark now, isn't it? Finding it difficult to see what I'm looking at. 11.5 minutes to go and we're nearly there. 94. Can't even see what I've sprayed and what I haven't sprayed. No, I was driving on a previously already sprayed area then. There we go, 95%. Why do I feel like there are more fields that I haven't addressed? And I do feel like that. Have I just done the wrong field? It said 2 fields, didn't it? Or am I going completely mental? Oh man. There's 2 more fields over here. So there's 4 fields. Was it 2 fields and 2 orchards? Oh, do you know what? I think it was. Okay. Well, this challenge that wasn't challenging has just become way more challenging. I obviously wasn't paying enough attention when I read the... look how bouncy that is. Yeah, I obviously wasn't paying enough attention when I read the brief for this one. Goodness me. There's the static birdies again. You know, when I was a kid, you used to see flocks of birds like that. That was a real thing. But you don't see it anymore. It's a bit worrying, really. Because that's nature in action, that is. A flock of birds. And the fact that you rarely see it these days. Definitely a concern. Definitely a concern. Right, now I think there's a water place over here. Closer to this than the other one was. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Here, look. So I'm going to use the water that we've already got. Start spraying this area first, and then move on. Now I'm not sure how I'm going to spray these. Does it have a different type of spray mechanism? That doesn't seem to be doing anything. There's like a marker here, but I don't know what for. Pear orchard number 1, your property. Okay. So it's just telling me that I need to spray that. But how do I spray it? Because I just dropped a whole bunch of water and I don't think it did anything. Maybe I'll try it this way. Oh, water storage. Oh! Oh! I need to fill this up. Oops. To stop spraying it then, how do I fill up the water storage? Transfer contents. Oh, I get it. Okay, I've got to fill up the water storage. I understand now. So there's an irrigation system that's going to fill... basically spray these plants for me. Right, okay, I understand now. Now I get it, right. So let's go get some water and then go and transfer that water into that device. That's quite a cool feature then, isn't it? I thought it was going to be the same thing over again. It certainly has a lot of new stuff that I haven't seen in Farming Sim 17. I'll give it credit there. If only it was more simulation-like, I think this would be a wonderful simulator. But whilst it's stuck in this arcade style, I can't see myself playing it very much, if at all. And I think the transfer of water and fuel is way too quick in this game. I think it's too quick in FS17 as well. And there's a mod. What the heck? There's no... Oh, there's a little one down there. Yeah, in FS17 there is a mod actually which allows you to slow that process down, which is cool. So I've got that mod installed in preparation for my ultimate realism game that I'm looking to play. Just thought I'd share that information, that little nugget. The water storage is at 60%. Water level is at 15%. Is there something I need to do then to turn that on? It seems I have to be down this side for it to work. Just wondering if there's a... Maybe not. I feel like there's something I'm not doing there. Like maybe there's a way to turn that on or something. Only 9 minutes left, so 9 minutes to figure this out. I'm going to go fill up the other tank. Fill the tanks with water. Does it mean fill them to the top, do you think? Interesting that you can't get out the tractor whilst the tractor's moving, but you can fill it up with water whilst the tractor's moving. One rule for one, another rule for the other. Okay, so we're going to go fill up the one that's furthest away first. Oh, it's spraying. It's spraying with water. Oh man, so I should have done this first, because that could have been spraying the whole time. Oh, that's a bit irritating. I didn't realise that. Okay, so I think this must be field number 2. See the water being sprayed there? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Congratulations, you have met the minimum requirements. Okay, do you want to know something weird, guys? I can't turn my head. And I can't... That's so weird. What was that? Something had done something there and I was stuck. Couldn't turn my head then. I couldn't change the camera or anything. So okay, it just looks like I need to go and get enough water to fill these tanks up to the top. Probably 95% full. And that'll be the job done, which is cool, which means we've achieved this challenge on our first go as well. Let's put the headlights on. Well, rocks. See how floaty the front of that is? It's not good. There we go, filled up. I didn't even stop. Perfecto. Avoid the rocks. Yeah, I do like the irrigation system. Well, okay, let me be clear. I like the irrigation system that the game's got. What I don't like is that field is predefined to be an orchard. Now, okay, I haven't got that far into the game. It's possible maybe that you can dictate what goes on these fields, but I rather feel like the irrigation system is there and all you can put in these fields are like orchard items, lemons and apples and oranges and stuff and pears. I feel like it's dictated to you rather than you deciding what you're going to put there. Okay, so is that 100% full or 95% full? Can I have some information, please? Oh, it's only 78. Oh, goodness me, we're going to have to do quite a few runs then. Bearing in mind that the flipping... As I'm putting water in there, it's coming out through the irrigation system, so although it says 78%, it's probably used 10% whilst I've been going to get water, I guess. But certainly I think the transfer of water is way too quick. Way too fast. Do I want it to be real time? No, not quite. But I think that's too quick. I think that's happening way too fast, way too fast. Just ma opinion. You're entitled to your own. You don't have to agree with me, and I don't have to agree with you either. One of my favourite songs, that. Written back in the 18th century when King Henry VIII was getting ready to get married to his 7th wife. Obviously it never happened, but you know, he was planning it. Wow, I don't know what I'm talking about. I do apologise, gone slightly mental there. Momentary state of craziness. Right, now it's a bit irritating as well that when I'm parked right next to the water tank, I have no idea how much water it has. Don't you think that should change? That's full, which is good. Let's go down and fill up the other one. Watch the PNG birds flying across the sky. It was a nice idea, but they haven't done it very well. If you get really close to the birds, you can see that they're individually flapping their wings. But maybe they needed to have like 2 or 3 PNGs overlapping each other so that it looks like they're flying individually. Cool. I think that's it. Mission complete. 6.5 minutes spare. That's it, guys. Another one completed. So join me soon when we'll do locust attack. Well, that sounds horrible. Hopefully there aren't any locusts in the game. Although it'd be cool if it did. If it actually had loads of locusts and you could see them coming or something. That would be awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Till next time. Goodbye.